Marjorie Taylor-Greene has been thrown under the bus yet again by the GOP. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this episode of the Dan Dawson Show. So I'm going to read you this article from Fox News. It was written by Tyler Olson. It is Marjorie Taylor-Greene posts message comparing vaccine mandates to Nazi health passes. Subtitle, Greene apologized last year for comments comparing mask mandates to the Holocaust. She's not the only one doing it. She's not the only one seeing this. So I don't even know if they're getting that. Representative Majorie Taylor-Greene Thursday compared vaccine mandates and cars to a Nazi health pass in a Telegram post mirroring Holocaust-related COVID-19 rhetoric that landed the Congresswoman in hot water last year. The sad part is who she was thrown in hot water by. So this is why I'm warning you. Don't count on a red wave. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to read this article and I'm going to tell you why. This past year, the Democrats' obsession with vaccine cards proved they are like the Nazis who forced people to carry health pass. Greene, Republican from Georgia, wrote, it must end. So here's the thing about Marjorie Taylor-Greene, right? She's not the only one. I've been comparing the leftists to Nazis for a whole bunch of stuff. Really not much to do with the vaccine or COVID-19 or anything. Just they're black shirt rioters, their authoritarianism, they're look down their nose at you, they're dividing people amongst racial lines. I mean, come on, there's a whole bunch of stuff you can compare the Democratic Socialist Party to. Last year, Greene ran afoul of House GOP leadership for comments she made comparing the mandatory House mask rule from House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Democrat from California, to the Holocaust. Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, Republican from California, admonished her in a statement at the time. See, and that's the problem. This is why I'm telling you, don't count on any red wave. Here's why. Because when you get a strong firebrand coming out of the Republican Party, it's the old guard at the top, your Mitch McConnell, your Kevin McCarthy, are the ones that squash them down. Let the woman speak. You know what? She's a representative. She still has a First Amendment right. Let me finish up this article before my head explodes. Greene eventually apologized, saying there's no comparison, and there never will be, between Holocaust and mask mandates. Representative McCarthy and Greene did not immediately respond to requests for comments from Fox News. Greene's GOP opponent, Jennifer Strahan, harshly criticized her for this post. If you live in Georgia, make sure you do not vote for Strahan. I don't even know what she said yet, but I guarantee it's feckless. She just wants to join the system to get rich, get some insider trading tips or whatever. Strahan is a horrible person. Vote for Greene. I have no idea who Strahan is, but I know she's going to be a feckless leader if she doesn't have the cojones to at least stand up and admit the Democratic Socialist wing, or the socialist wing of the Democrat Party, the leftists, are very comparable to Nazis. Quote, Representative Greene's apologies in the past for similar comments clearly meant nothing to her. Her behavior embarrasses most Georgians, displays her ignorance of history, and explains why she is so ineffective. Our district deserves new leadership, Strahan said. Strahan is generally considered a long shot candidate, but is gaining some establishment fundraising support. Punchbowl News reported this week. Of course, the establishment wants her in there. They don't want people like Marjorie Taylor-Greene. Why would they want somebody who's actually going to tell the truth and speak her mind? Why would they want a strong woman in there who's going to speak her mind? They just don't want it. Let me continue. Greene, notably, is not the first House GOP member to compare vaccine mandates to a Nazi health pass. This month, Representative Warren Davidson, representative from Ohio, did the same thing in a tweet before later issuing an apology. I would just like to issue Marjorie Taylor-Greene the full endorsement of the Dan Dawson Show at this point. Greene also, in her Thursday Telegram post, railed against mask and vaccine mandates, the tyrants who try to get Americans to comply with them. She lamented that the $90,000 in fines she's racked up for refusing to wear a mask on the House floor in violation of Pelosi's rule. Day one, when Republicans take back the House, we must declare the COVID pandemic over, Greene said. Greene has been one of the most controversial GOP House members since she was first elected. Early last year, She was kicked off her committees by Democrats over a bevy of contentious comments, including from before she ran for Congress. And ladies and gentlemen, here you have it. You heard it here on the Dan Dawson Show. Don't count on a red wave because they're tossing their firebrands under the bus. Now look over on the Democrat side. Ilhan Omar comes out and compares the U.S. and Israel to Al-qaeda. She compared American and Israeli soldiers to Al-qaeda terrorists. Of course, then Biden went on to, of course, equip them and send them money too, by the way. That's another story I got to do. But the Democrats rail on it while the Republicans eat their young. It's ridiculous. Rashida Tlaib can call the sitting president at the time, Donald Trump of the United States, Hitler, and make all kinds of references to him being a Nazi and a white supremacist. Nothing. She didn't get taken off her committees. And this is why I'm telling you don't get too caught up in that red wave is coming. AOC can come out and make crazy, ridiculous statements that are proven wrong almost as soon as they come out of her mouth. Oh, boy. Cori Bush can come out and say, we want to abolish the police, get rid of them. And then when asked about her private security detail, can say, I need security because I know my life is important. So if police represent security to you and she wants to abolish them, that means your life means nothing to her. Nothing said, nothing, not one yap from the Democrat or the Republican Party. You might get a Ted Cruz or a Rand Paul or Majorie Taylor-Greene every once in a while saying something, and they never apologize. Remember when Omar made her anti-Semitic statements? She didn't even get censured by name. They did nothing to her. Look, Democratic Rep Eric Swalwell from California caught sleeping with a spy. And miraculously enough, the spy found out they were on to her, right? And a little birdie just happened to tell her, and she flies back to China after decades of being here and sleeping with him. Think about that. He's still on the security committee, which means all that top secret security information that comes through, he gets to see it. Hope they're monitoring him really well. But this was my point, ladies and gentlemen. The Republicans come out and hit their own people hard behind observations that most of society has made. The right-thinking people anyway have already made those same statements, have already had that same thought, which is why I would not count on a red wave. I would not. Now, I encourage you all to get out there and vote. Vote like your life and freedom depends on it, because it does. Because for the Democratic Socialist Party to enact their Nazi agenda, they're going to have to take away your Second Amendment right. Don't ever give it up. I encourage you. You don't have to join the NRA. You don't have to join the USCCA, but I do encourage you to support gun rights, gun right candidates. Check out Colion Noir. Find out who your local rep is. Stuff's easy now. Most of them are on social media. Most of them are on Facebook. You can message them, hey, I'm pro 2A. What is your stance on the Second Amendment? Something like that. Just, you know what, we're going to do this as a group. Message your local representative this exact message. I'm pro 2A. Have all your friends and family do it. We're going to need that Second Amendment before it's all said and done. Because if you look now, there was an opinion piece in the Utah, it was a newspaper in Utah. And the opinion piece said, like I told you the other day on a video, the National Guard must be called in to keep unvaccinated in their house. Remember, with the Second Amendment, you're a citizen. Without it, you're a servant. Thank you for watching this episode of the Dan Dawson Show. Like, subscribe, share. And anytime I mention COVID, go over to Rumble. because it'll be a whole different video, but not on this one though. Not on this one. I'm going to start that with my next video. If it's one on COVID, I'm not even sure what it's going to be about yet. But like I said, thank you. Like, subscribe, share this with all your friends and family. And especially in these days and times, keep your powder dry. Do what you got to do.